Yo, 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 what's good, world? It's your boy Rob, Gio.
G-
Real talk, real views, and couldn't make it. It's wifey's birthday today, so shit, Andy's doing husband duties. So y'all, man, I hope everybody's having a great weekend. We gotta come through, hang out with y'all, and we have a lot to talk about today. The first thing that we gonna say is rest in peace to Mo3, rest in peace to Pop Smoke, King Von, all these young rappers that are dying. Me and Joe are gonna hit on this real quick because man, I know me personally, Joe, I'm sick and tired of seeing these young rappers dying. What is something that you notice because you jam to these guys a little bit more heavy than me? Is there something that they're saying in their music where it makes you just kind of raise your eyebrows, like, yo, if this nigga doesn't stop rapping about this shit, he's gonna end up dead? Is there something that
well,
they're rapping about? Is there somebody that they're pissing off? What's going on? Why these guys keep dying?
um, I mean, it's just it's just various of things. If you think about it, I think I think some of the things that a lot of things happen with some of these young rappers is, you know, it's where they grew up in. It's
Mhm.
the culture that they're around, the environment they're around, the people they're around, and if they're affiliated, you may want to say you could say yeah they could affiliate with gangs or affiliated with the people that they're around with. Um, in the case of Pop Smoke, it was just more of envy
Mhm.
and you know, and him just having a little slip up and giving his address
What? I
and
seen that shit.
yeah,
Sure.
giving his address and just he just wanted to show he went somewhere and got expensive clothing and people just they don't like other seeing other people being successful, so they took it upon themselves to you know eliminate him. In the case of King Von, I would say it's a little bit different. Um, he was in jail. I'm gonna get you back with the story in a little bit, but I was reading about it a couple of days ago and watching a video about it. So King Von was in jail. This is like way back. We're going back so you can understand the reason why he got killed. So in the beginning, King Von did something. I'm not exactly sure what he did, but he was in jail and he was in the 300 gang. 600, I think it was 600, either 600 or 300. It was one of those two gangs, whichever one it was. It was in Chicago, pretty much. So his best friend was shot, and his best friend was killed by one of the ops that the gangs that he was in, that he was with, that he wasn't affiliated with, but the ops, pretty much the other gang, the rival gang,
Mhm.
and they killed his best friend. And pretty much, Vaughn just like anybody else, if your best friend gets killed, you want revenge, And the thing about wanting revenge is it doesn't end because once you take someone else, the rival wants to take out somebody else. You see
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So it's not going to end. It's never going to end. And pretty much was Vaughn, one of Vaughn's best friend got killed by the ops, and then once one of Vaughn's friends got killed by the ops, one of the ops got killed by one of Vaughn's crew members, and pretty much he died, but he was dissing and talking shit and all that stuff, and he died. And then after that, another person on Vaughn's side got killed, right? And
Yeah.
then the other people talking shit, this and that, and then it happened to the other side, and it was just a cycle, and eventually it caught up to Vaughn, and Vaughn, he don't give a fuck, he gonna fight. And if you seen the video, he started it, but it was all fists. It was no guns, it was none of that. And then he swung, and then if you look at the video, you know, he got shot multiple times. The friend, the homie that was with him got shot as well. So I mean, you know, that's
Damn.
what happened.
Wow. So you telling me, so the day he got killed, he was basically scrapping up, fighting against these people that ended up killing him?
Yeah, they were at a club. Whenever you're at a club, after the club is over, y'all see the op or whatever. Y'all want to start talking and doing all kind of crazy stuff and this and that and having a whole bunch of confrontation, and then it just builds up, and then after a while, some people, they feel the need that they need to be a little tougher than the next person, or they got to be harder than the next person, and then there it is. It's a whole situation worth of nothing.
Nigga
You
had 3
know,
kids.
yeah, man.
3
As
kids.
far as for Mo 3, man, I never really listened to him as much. I'm hearing he was a great guy, things of that nature, and he got 3 kids as well, and you know, RIP for all these guys. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully their loved ones are making do with what they can. And then just recently, Lil Boosie just got shot. Lil Boosie got
Yes.
shot.
Yep.
He got shot in the leg.
He was going to go
But
pay respects for Mo3, and
yeah,
yo, what the fuck? What kind of enemies did Mo3 have?
nah. The thing about it's not even about Mo 3 and the enemies that you got to think about it. Like a lot of people just they have. Y'all remember when you're in the streets and things of that nature, and you're street related, things tend to come back. People hold grudges. People never forgive nor forget, and they hold grudges tight. They can hold a grudge for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And once they finally see you, they going to let it all out. And you're going to be like, yo, you've been holding this for this long? I forgot what we even was discussing. I have a problem about. But it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that it's tough. Like when you part of the streets never leave. When you part of that culture, that environment, that shit does not leave. You are part of it. In the case of Vaughn, the thing about it is once he retaliated, that was it. He was part of it. Whether he liked it or not, it was gonna be one way or the other. It was either gonna be you was going to go to jail or you was gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be damned if you're going to jail. Because if you're going to jail and you locked up, it's a whole different ballgame in there. You don't know who knows who or what knows what and what price is on your head. Because yeah, you in jail, but somebody gonna pay for that. Pay to get you. You feel me? In jail, pay for that. Yo, I got 6,000 in your family taken care of for the next some odd years.
Right.
In the case of the dude that killed Vaughn, one of and they found the guy and they arrested him, but the other dude, one of Vaughn's friends or gang members, 600 Breezy, I think that's his name. I'm not too sure, but he put $1 million on the dude that killed Vaughn's head, and he's on camera and he's arrested. They put $1 million.
So they put out
So,
$1 million for a hit to kill Vaughn.
yeah, he didn't say like I'm putting out $1 million to kill. He never said it, but in the video, on him on Instagram Live. He's smoking, jamming, listening to music, and then he had a whole thing, whole stack of cash, just touching his head with it. You know what I'm saying? Just doing this, and then and without saying it, you could look and make the interpretation. Yo, I got money on this nigga head if y'all trying to get him. And that's it.
God damn.
Put money on his head.
And that's the part. And that's the shit that hurts me. We're all black. And somebody says, hey, you get $1 million if you kill this person. Our values at that point is to make the money because nobody wants to hire us because of our bad records. Nobody wants to take us in. We're stuck in the street life. Once you get in, it's the hardest thing to get out. Some people manage to get out. I don't know how they do it. I don't know what they had to sacrifice. I just don't know. But if only he stayed away from that shit in the first place. I wonder where the fuck was his dad? Any man that just joins a gang, I wonder if their father's in their life. That's what I
But you
asked.
gotta. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question. Is the father in their life, and then for some people, they're both parents might be in their life. You know what I'm saying? And they still in the game. It's how much love and care and affection your parents are showcasing. You know what I'm saying? Like if your mom and your dad is constantly there, being there for you, helping you through everything and showing you love and making sure you understand what's at home and you don't gotta do that stuff, that love that's there should, and I say should, overcome that for you to not be in any gang or, rely on another person, uh, um, another person's affection to help you, get out of whatever situation you're in. Sometimes parents are just, they're busy working, they're busy putting a roof over your head and working hard. And, you barely seeing, what they're working for. And it's hard as a kid sometimes to see that. And when you're seeing your parents struggling, but they're working twice as hard than the money that they're making, like it puts shit in perspective. You saying fuck it, man. By any means, I'm getting out. If I gotta kill, rob, shoot, steal, whatever, I'm getting out of here because this ain't what my parents don't deserve this. We deserve better. We deserve to be rich. We deserve to be in a wealthy position. We deserve to be in a higher state of mind. And there's people that think like that and they go about it. And when they go about it, in any kind of possible way you can think of. And then you have situations like these right here, everybody trying to get into it and everybody trying to get to that bread. And then, there's people that I don't like this person, I don't like that person. And it's not even all money related. You know what I'm saying? It would have been different. For me, it would have been different, like, okay, he stole money or he did this or he did that. Man, y'all literally was talking about a whole lot of nothing in reality, to be honest. And y'all killed each other on some whole bunch of nothing. Yeah, niggas talking, oh, I bet you can't do this. I bet you can't do that. Man, those are all words. These niggas, man, at the end of the day, they talking. A lot of people just talking. You gotta either you gonna be about that action or you're not. Some people in the case they're not gonna be about the action. But in this case for Vaughn, man, it was just he was rapping too, and they just caught him slipping, and it was just in the worst way. It was just because it was in a whole fist fight, and everybody just fighting, everybody watching the fight, and then another nigga come out of nowhere and like, yeah, you gonna fight, you gonna swing your fist, I'm gonna grab this gun and I'm gonna shoot your shit, and that was it. That's all he did. He shot him and his woman.
That shit was just fucked up, man. When
Yeah.
I go to Pop Smoke, he was just being too flashy, and that actually caught up to him. Like if you're doing it big, what's the point of showing that social media is good and it is bad at the same time? Because motherfuckers get your information like it ain't shit. If you got your numbers out like that.
But he didn't have it on. He didn't have it on Instagram. I think it was on Snapchat. And the thing about Snapchat is, it should disappear, but I think he had it on his story, so it's not going to disappear.
For 4 people, kid, and you not even in New York. You rented out a penthouse in California, so 4 guys from California probably. They're like, yo, we gonna rob this dude. We know exactly where he at. 4? Damn, it wasn't 1. It was 4. That's just hella fucked up. And then after King Von dies, his homeboys go to his house and they loot that shit. They take everything from the crib, steal everything from the crib. Don't even give OG a hug, say, hey, I'm sorry for your son. They just took everything. And it just makes you realize, kid, the gang life might make you feel superior for a minute, but it's not going to make you feel superior for a lifetime. It's just not. For anybody listening to this podcast and you are a part of a gang, get out. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I promise you that if you're a good person and you have good friends, that gang is the toughest gang because that's a unit, that's an army. Like if you a cool ass dude, you'd be surprised how many people will surround and have your back. Versus a gang like, hey, let's beat them up, let's get them initiated. What type of shit is that? I seen that happen. My homeboy wanted to be a blood, and they told him in order for him to be part of the gang, he had to get mobbed in. And he actually did it. He was so desperate. to be just cool. He actually did that shit. Like that, to me, it's just not worth it, dog. You form great relationships, you'll have armies of people that'll have your back everywhere you go. It's just all at the end of the day, establishing great relationships and just don't throw your values away. People that are in bad communities, I can't say North Miami was bad, Joe.
You can't say it's good either.
Huh?
You can't say it's good either.
Yeah. You're right. I can't say it was the worst situation, but you're right. I can't say that it was bad either. But we were around people that were doing some shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we were around. I know somebody personally. We were around some people that were doing some shit. And yes, did they try to tell us to do it with them? And we just said no. First of all, I have to commend Mommy and Poppy. Poppy scared the fuck out of us when he said, "You do anything to go to jail, don't call me, I'm not helping you." When Poppy said that shit to me, it just registered in my head. Okay, never going to jail. But for some other people, they're like, "Man, I don't give a fuck what my dad say, dog. I'm doing me." But the thing is, when you see videos of the damn prison system and how fucked up it is, when your name is in the system's already fucked up. Now, when your name is in the system, it's attached to the system and it's attached to it for life. That's even worse. Like, yeah, I don't know, can't get this dude, he's a felon. Oh, you can't get this job, you're a felon. Heck, you can't even be a truck driver. You're a felon. A truck driver. They don't even, like, that's the crazy part. But there's some companies that work with felons, but not everyone's nice because they think you might rob them. That's what's crazy, man.
But that's a whole different thing. Like, you gotta understand, I'm not here promoting jail. Let me get that out the way. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you shoot somebody and kill somebody, I don't have no place for you in my heart. That's number one. But number two, if you're on some things as far as like, weed charges, maybe a little petty theft, you took something out the store or, convenience store, something minor, you doing a little time for that, something that is justifiable in a sense. Like you still, because like some people, and depending on what neighborhood they're in the impoverished neighborhoods, if they steal because they needed food to feed their kids, or they needed food because they didn't have and they haven't eaten in weeks and things of that nature. Like, those type of situations you understand for, and you give out a helping hand, you put your heart out for them, and you hope that they could find, better situations that they can be in, to the point where they don't have to constantly steal to get a meal. You know what I'm saying? And, some people, when they're in that situation, they rather be in jail because they have a meal, but that's a whole different conversation for a different thing. But,
you're right, because
like I was saying, like when it comes to situations like that, man, like I wouldn't say like don't help your child get out of jail. I feel like you need to listen to him and understand like what he did. Like if he even did it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things. Like you gotta pick up the phone and call your folks. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do that. Like I think it's regardless of, even if they say they're not gonna do this, they're gonna listen. Just pick up the phone, man. Call them and see what's going on, because you don't want to lose your you don't want to, the last time you hear your son, he was in jail, and then somebody kills him in jail, and then you never hear from your son or your daughter ever again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's the worst. But just the premise of that, just Poppy, he just made me just be like, I'm not gonna get in trouble. Like a lot of people that meet me, they're like, "Damn, you're such a good citizen." I'm like, "Yo, I don't have time to be bad, man." I don't know if they'll ever deport they already did it to one of my homeboys.
First and foremost, coming from a guy that was I think 9 years old. Was it 9 or 10 years old? No, it wasn't 9 or 10. Whenever that time it was, I don't remember exactly what age it was. But it was you and Mackenzie. Y'all both looked at each other and y'all both said, "What you want to be when you grow up?" You want to be gangsters.
Gangster. Yeah, I know. I wanted to be gangster.
Oh my God.
And I don't know where that came from. The only reason why I think I said that is because I saw that they had all the girls, and I'd do anything to get the girls. And so I noticed the
Oh
thing
my God.
that was just, and that
Pathetic.
was whack. And all I
That's
needed was
pathetic.
fucking confidence. My ass was being pathetic. Hold on real quick. So I'm gonna grab my. Yeah, Joe. Like you were saying, people. It just really depends on where you're at in life. Our parents were there, and some people, you know, they just wanted the fast money, but fast money ain't stable money because it comes and goes. If you build something right and not dirty, you ain't got to keep hiding secrets all the fucking time. Like, that's the worst. Yo, how'd you make it? How'd you get that crib? You know what I mean? Like we said, somebody we know from elementary school, we noticed that he had a big crib, had a nice car. You know who I'm talking about. Has
I
a
have no
channel,
idea.
YouTube channel. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay.
And now what did you tell me? Say, yo, they both got locked up. And the thing, cause in my mind, I'm like, bruh, this is expensive, you know, Florida standards. Like, you really have to be doing it big, legit. You even seen Ghost, even on Power, try to go legit. Even though he still couldn't just be legit. He just
But you
needed to
gotta,
go Ghost away.
but you gotta understand the way it goes. The thing about it, the thing about certain people when it comes to things like this, and this is where I am with this whole situation. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, you're doing illegal shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it with me is, what are you doing with that money that comes into your hands? Because if all you're doing is trying to buy fancy shit and, you know, live a luxurious life, and that's it, you got the whole shit fucked up. The thing about Ghost was his mind was to get himself out that situation he was in, but eventually, after he got all that money, he looked at it and said, "Listen, I want to be a businessman and make legit money." You see what I'm saying? And make a real living. He owned a club, he owned business, he owned real estate, he owned properties, and that's what he was doing. But the thing about it, you gotta know the difference between a nigga that's constantly just worried about the next lick or the next hit versus the next person that is thinking of a business venture. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
when you do, like, I'm saying if you do have opportunity to get that money, get that money. But when you get that money, make sure you build something out of it. Make sure you invest something out of it. The thing about our homie and the situation he was in, he did it so many times and repeatedly, and that was the thing with him.
Mm-hmm.
He constantly kept doing it, and you got to understand, if you constantly keep doing things, the police build a record on you.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing that he was doing, it was on a federal level. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the feds, they don't do nothing to you. They just keep a recording of the things you've done until they have enough evidence. And when you finally are doing whatever you're doing, they're gonna bust you. And then you won't have you have nothing but to show for it. It's just they have evidence on you. So now you fucked. You can't. What are you gonna say? That wasn't me. Nah, they show you in year this, year that, year this, year that, and then what?
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So if you making high volume amounts of money like how he was making, man, like event, you bound to get caught. But the thing about it is, get into some businesses, get into some business ventures.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it don't gotta be like the craziest thing in the world, but you gotta have that stuff so you can have legit money. You need legit money. You need legit clean money in this world.
You do. And shit, you just speaking straight facts on that. But Joe, like, for somebody like you who you know how to stand from a crowd, and me too, we have that gift where you can kind of like evaluate your circle. What would be something you would tell a young dude right now who's 20, 21, 23, and they have all these people around them. They say, nigga, I got you for life and all that. How do you evaluate people? Yeah, or if you want me to set it off, I can tell you how I evaluate. But how do you evaluate people? Because people might make fun of us because sometimes they say you're just a loner, but it's like I do some background checks before I say, hey, you can rock with me. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I mean, it's you just don't let anybody and everybody in your circle. You know what I'm saying? Your circle is what keeps you sound. At the end of the day, when you step out them doors, you give a phone call. You got a select few. In this case, for me, a handful of people, literally 5 people that I can give a phone call to, and I know they'll pick up my phone call whenever I call them. You know what I'm saying? And you want those type of people in your circles. You have your associates, and that's what I call them all day. I got friends that are cool, that I'm just cool with. They my associates, man. You know, my day ones forever. You know, my day ones are my day ones. At the end of the day, like, those are my day ones. Like, we grew up from grade school on up, you know, and I cannot hit you up for a whole 3 months, 4 months. But I know if I give you that phone call, we gonna hit it off like it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain vibes like that with certain people that you got. You know what I'm saying? You just cool with that. Like, but for me, like, when it comes to certain people entering that circle, they have to showcase loyalty and trustworthiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, like, I don't give out tests and stuff like that. Like, I ain't on that stuff. But if a certain situation does come up, and it doesn't have to be the biggest situation, you know what I'm saying? It could be something minor, something small. And based off, I'm going to tell you a certain information, and based off how you handle it would dictate everything for me for the rest of our friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be like, man, all right, I'm about to, like, I kind of fucked up right here. I kind of did, you know, I stole this chip out the fucking, you know, the store. Dang, man, I fucked up. Like, based off what he says or what he does, like, you gotta return that chip, or, man, take that chip, man. You gotta worry about that shit. Or, I'm about to tell somebody, you know, like, depending on the situation and the circumstances of whatever it is, like, you know how to handle that. And I think based off, certain things that, and watching them and watching how they move and how they react and how they say certain things, is whether you keep them, whether you either want to push them into your circle or you just keep them as associates. And the thing about me is I love associates. They're good. They're friends, right? They don't got to be your best friends or your day ones. They just good friends, good solid friends that you can turn to. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you could just turn to and say what's good and what's up, what you doing, what you kicking. They kicking it, you can kick it with them and stuff like that. Nothing crazy. You want stuff like that, but to put people in your circle, it takes a while. It takes a while for me.
Yo, you ain't lying. For me, it takes years. It takes years, man. You don't just come in. It takes years, and just like you said, there's always an opportunity that arises where you look to see, let's really see what this dude or he is about. You know, like, how much does this person have my back? Like, what Mackenzie? I'll start with him. This guy has had my back forever. Shout out to Mackenzie if he's listening to this podcast episode. Like, this guy has had my back forever. I remember one time, like, him and I, we went out with the same girl. First he went out with her, and then I did. And we were talking about it first, and he was like, yo, man, you good. You can go out with her. And he was around her more than I was. He could have easily tried to spit some game behind my back. He ain't ever do it. That's one thing that you could test out with your homeboys. Do they holler at your girl when you're not around?
Right.
One test, because that is, like, men have a couple weaknesses. Pussy, especially, money, and ego.
But and not to cut you off, but that also tests your lady as well, because at the end of the day, if she doesn't tell you that your homie is trying to holler at you, that shows a testament to her. But yeah, she don't want to hurt your feelings. Bullshit. I don't give a fuck. If my homie trying to talk to you, better say something. I don't give a fuck. That shit could hurt me at the end of the day. I don't care. As long as you tell me, that's what matters.
Don't keep it a secret. That secret can turn into 5 years and no telling how you gonna react to that shit.
Exactly. I don't want that shit. Gotta find out on some crazy shit from somebody that I hardly even know or like. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I don't want that. You think I want that shit? No, you better tell me. I'd rather hear from you. When I hear from you, I'm good. I'm straight.
Yeah, you got it. And I remember when I was going through some hard financial times, all of my real homeboys stepped up. I told Clifton one time, yo, I'm in this frat house, kid. I've known Clifton. Clifton and I, we have the same last name. It's crazy. Everyone always thought we were all related. But Clifton, shout out to him if he's listening to this episode. He listens to the podcast. So one time I was going through some financial troubles. I couldn't pay rent. And Clifton, literally from out of the blue, I told him what my address was. This dude sent me $100 cash. He put it in an envelope, put a paper towel around it so nobody could see the 100. And I'm just like, wow, kid, this. And I called him up. I was like, Clifton, you have to do it. He's like, nah, man, you struggling, man. This is all I got. This is all I can give you. I was like, yo, that's the homie right there. I don't care what this guy puts me through. I know at the end of the day, he got my back. Andy, we were just at his wedding. Shout out to him if he's listening to this episode. Yo, go through some times like where I needed some gas money, or I needed some kind of money, period, or I needed some support. Andy was right there, phone call away. Like those moments is where you see who your real homeboys are and who your associates are.
Yeah, man.
And trust me, some people don't even realize why you distance yourself from them, because you're like, yo, if I trust this guy, I'm going to be in a whole world full of trouble. And I don't want to put my mind on that, on that road. I don't even want to do that. So for you guys that are young, or for you guys evaluating your circles, look at little things. Do they pick up the phone when you call them? Do they respond to a text message, or does it take them days? Or do they not respond at all? If they don't respond at all, or it take them days to respond, and they don't have nothing going on and they're just being grimy, yo, cut. Fuck that shit. Don't be looking into that.
I mean, but everybody's situation could be a little bit different, though. You know what I'm saying? Like certain situations, you know, like if if they working constantly and things of that nature, and they're big executives and big business owners and CEOs and things of that nature, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you may
I hear you, Joe.
You may be a little bit lenient because you understand what's going on.
But I was saying, Joe, the person who don't got nothing going on. I had said the person who has nothing going on. No, that's some grimy shit. There was somebody that I was cool with at a job at Interrail, and he never answers the phone when I call him. And I just got to the point where I was like, well, fuck it. This dude just doesn't want to be cool. It's all right. There's people that will not be cool with you, and you just have to be fine with it too. Don't take it as a hit. Like, man, is there something wrong with me? Nah. There's genuine people that just don't want to fuck with you for some reason. And to you, you're like, dog, they're fucking missing out on a real ass person. But let that be their loss. It's okay. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be for a reason. Maybe it's just the world back, just having your back, God just having your back, saying, no, there's a reason why I don't want you to fuck with this person.
I think when it comes to situations like that, a lot of people, I know when it came to me sometimes, like it all depends on, like, well, not all depends, but it be feeling like sometimes based off the situation of the person, you can hang, like you gonna want to hang with them more or hang with them less. In the case for you, dog, like I know what you're talking about when it came to Kansas, because remember I was living for people that don't know, I was living with my brother in Kansas for I would say 5-6 months, something like that. Yeah, something like that. And the people that was at the job where we both were working at the time, like for him it was just more so like, well, Robin's married and his brother is single and he's around the same age as me, so I'm a go more lean towards his brother because he's single and doesn't have no kids, where I don't have no kids and I'm single as well, so that's why I felt like he was leaning more towards me as opposed to you, because you're married and you got kids and stuff like that. That doesn't mean like you're any you're any better than me as a person. That's not it. Sometimes it's just that situation, like a single person feels like they can't be friends with a married person due to the fact of how their life is, because they got oncoming traffic, if you will, ongoing traffic, if you will, as opposed to you're at a steady pace. You know what I'm saying? Like you see the light, you stop at the red light, you wait till it turns green, or you actually stop at the stop sign, you look both ways, and then you go. You know what I'm saying? So your traffic is not the same. That is not the same traffic as his. So having somebody like that into your life could cause issues with your wife, and he doesn't want to see it like that. But that's how I think. But I'm not gonna be fair in his case because I know he doesn't think like that. So he needs to pick up the phone and fucking call your ass. But that's not here and there.
It's all good though, man. You're just like, man, I wanted to do something, a business venture with this person, but it's all good. Now they lost that door. Now they gotta wait another 10 years, maybe until somebody says, hey, I'm gonna open that door for you. People don't realize how quick doors get slammed. But
yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. But anyways,
but now on to something else. Probably a little bit more positive. But for real though, everybody that that's evaluating their circles, just definitely hear us out, man. This is definitely a message for you guys, ladies and men. Just evaluate your circle. If you got some fucking weird fuck shit going around in your environment, in your circle, and you feel like shit about to hit the fan, hey yo, get out before it gets too late. They'll scoop your ass up and put you in the back of that police car. They'll do it. They don't want to hear nothing about it. They don't care. But
one more thing for that, because you mentioned a good part about it. The thing about it, I want to say is evaluating your circle. Seeing are they trying to better themselves? Because if they're looking to better themselves and come up and do great things, you want to surround yourself with influential people that's on a positive. You're around negativity, negative things will happen. You're around positive people, positive things will happen. You're around boss ass motherfuckers, boss shit is going to happen. Independent shit, whoever you hang around with will then become you. I hate to say it, but eat where you eat where you shit. That's what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Things like that is gonna happen. So if you're around motherfuckers that are just lazy and dull and don't want to do nothing, smoke weed, do all types of shit, that's what's gonna happen for you. You gonna start to slowly see the friends that you normally hang with 24/7, the ones that constantly smoke and do all that stuff, and guess what? They ain't gonna be your friends no more. But it's okay. They're not gonna be your tightest friends, but they're gonna be, on the back end. And they're gonna talk like, oh man, we used to hang out so much. What happened? No. It's not what happened. You did not happen. You didn't come up when it was time for me to come up. Sometimes everybody's calling is different. Sometimes that elevator door opens for certain people. And it's time for you to step in that elevator and go up. And for them other people, they gotta stay on that floor for a little bit longer, until that door opens for them. But it's fine. It ain't, it ain't nothing crazy. Everybody's time clock of when it's time to be successful for them or when it's time to elevate themselves will eventually ring. But the time that it takes for it to ring will be when. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know what time it is. Yours might be at 25, 26. Theirs might be at 35, 36. But the thing about it is you can't push for them to get it at that 25, 26 when their time is meant to be at 35, 36. Because that's going to delay you. When you're constantly trying to push somebody to get on to your level, it's delaying your time. So you need to go with your time. Sometimes, I'm not saying this all the time, but sometimes you have to be selfish. Selfish is it's crazy, but it's real. Sometimes you got to say, yo, I'm out. We still cool. We boys, we girls, we all that, but I'm out. I got to get it.
Exactly.
Don't worry, I'll still be here for you, but I gotta go get mine. That's all it is. There's nothing crazy. I'm tired of being in this situation. I want to be in a better situation. You can't fault nobody for that. You can't be mad at somebody for that. Like, no, just you gotta support them, and if they understand, they supporting it. If they still want to be on that fuck shit, well, shit, let them be on it. But hey, it is what it is, man. Just make sure you evaluate your circle, you watching who you hang with, and you strive for success and you strive for greatness. That's the main thing. Push and push and push. Push beyond measure. That's it.
All right. You're right, man. That's exactly what it is. And then now on a positive note, like in the NBA, first of all, shout out to my Dolphins. They're doing good. Yeah. Oh man. Tua. You're doing good, boy. I haven't seen a 6-3 record in a long time for Miami. Yo.
That's crazy.
They are doing good. Shout out to the Dolphins. Keep it up. You making me proud right now. Like, and I wanted Burrow. I didn't even want to. But Burrow ain't even doing as good as Tua right now. He on fire.
I think the two different situations, two different circumstances. I think Ryan Flores, the head coach of the Dolphins, is doing a great job. He's doing a fantastic job. The offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, they're doing great jobs. His staff that he hired, doing great jobs. They just got the right group of people to buy into their systems, and that's it. When you have that collective group that believes in what your coach and your coordinators are showcasing to you and believe into the system, that's what they're doing. They believe in that system. And now success is coming.
Jarvis Landry, Joe, man. What the fuck? Did he just not buy into it? Well, I think he did, but they just didn't want to give him the money.
He bid into it, but the thing about it is that you have people that you know, they on their own time. They on their own agenda. And in the case of Jarvis, is like, we're not winning, or we're doing so subpar or barely up to subpar. I might as well get as much money as I can from this organization and play here. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't the case, you know. But in the case of Jarvis Landry right now with the Browns, their record, their record is good. They're not trash. No. The only teams they lost to is Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Oh, no, you're right. They are doing good. But the thing is, though, it's not that I'm hearing shit about Jarvis Landry. The Browns are just doing good. There's not one player that's like standing out.
I mean, no, there's not one. I mean, I'm not gonna say like Jarvis Landry isn't really standing out, but I mean he stands out because it's Jarvis Landry. But they finally got that identity that they were looking to, and it's run first, then pass, because Baker Mayfield can't pass. So
I'm really surprised that they're doing good. To be honest with you, they're actually really doing good. They had to let that coach go. Now they doing good. Shout out to them in the NFL. I just can't wait till the fans can get back. This coronavirus shit, we'll talk about that another day, but I'm just fucking tired of it just sucking the life out of the world right now. The people in positions of power that are doing this, they ought to fucking be ashamed of themselves. And don't worry, one day we'll know who they fucking are, and they'll regret what they did, guaranteed. But anyway though, man. So Joe, let's talk about the Houston Rockets, man. We're hearing the rumors, man, that Westbrook don't want to team up with Harden anymore. I think, honestly, to me, in my personal opinion, I don't think James Harden will ever win a title in his career. I don't think he will. I
don't want to say he'll never.
Nobody fucks with him.
I can't say that. I can't say that. But what
Come on, Joe. You haven't given up on him? I don't even think Carmelo Anthony's not even going to win a title. I have to just be honest. It's not going to happen 5 years ago. It ain't going to happen now.
Carmelo Anthony, what he needs to do is take his ass to the Lakers. Take your ass to the Lakers. And because the way I look at it for Carmelo Anthony is this. He's an improving defender, right? He's an improving defender, but at the same time, he still can't play as good as he really can. So what he needs to do is play with a big man that could block shots and help on the interior when your man blows by. In the case of Portland, that's why it was so good when he was at Portland, because when he came in the game, I'm not saying Nurkic was, he was, a good defender, but he was a 7-footer, a big body that was in the paint. So, it's not as easy. And then you have Whiteside, a person that actually does block shots in the paint. So it helped Carmelo Anthony's defense be a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And obviously you haven't been in the league in a long time, and you want to showcase, the coaches that, you're here for the long run. So obviously that too. But if you have somebody like that you could rely on, that could, help you in that time when, your man blows by you and you have a big man that can block shots, you look like you did okay defense. Your defense ain't as bad because the big man is taking care of it for you, and it helps him. He gets his box up.
I can't believe. So the Blazers let go of Melo. It's a free agent.
No. He's just a free agent. That's it. That's all it is. But the thing about Harden, and it's very hard because I like Harden. I like him. I think he's a real good ball player. I think he's real good. He sets up his teammates. The system that Mike D'Antoni ran, which is he's no longer there anymore. He's an assistant coach on Brooklyn with Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire. Pretty much the Suns reunion in Brooklyn. But hey, it is what it is.
That is what it is.
But the thing with Harden is that his offensive paralysis and his offensive mind is so good and so unique that system that Mike D'Antoni ran made him more than what he really was. And let me break this down in a sense. I felt like Mike D'Antoni helped. Mike D'Antoni's offense helped Harden become, an ISO king, but it never helped him become a team player. So he needs to be in a system with a coach that showcase pass, pass the ball, move around, pass and cut, things of that nature. And I think once he gets into that system, I think he'll be better. Like, yeah, your ISO, blah, 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 clear this side. I'm going to take him one-on-one. All right, bet, cool. That's all good. We know you can do that, and you do that great. But what we don't know what you can do is pass the ball and cut and be in an offense where you have to pass and kick, pass and kick, pass and cut, pass and kick, pass and cut. That constant movement. Mm-hmm. We need to see James in that situation. And I think if he's in something like that, that's when he'll win a title, right? Mm-hmm. Now, him being on Brooklyn with KD and Kyrie, that it's ISO ball times 3,000 because you got KD, he can get his own shot any given time. Kyrie Irving is not giving the ball up. He averages damn near no assists a game. So it's just like, what, James Harden is going to be the point guard? And he ISOs already? You know what I'm saying? Like, KD wants his 20 touches. Let's keep that a buck. KD wants 20 touches, easy. Kyrie wants his 15 and plus. And James Harden he ain't with the I'm just gonna pass all day. He wants his touches too. So listen, there's only one orange ball for those guys. That's gonna be a horrible decision if they make that decision. I think the best thing for James Harden to do is to go to Philly and play with Doc Rivers. I think that will be the best because that will put him in a new system. And I think the way Doc Rivers uses his system will definitely benefit James Harden. And he'll have a big man in Joel Embiid that he could play with because all that small ball shit is dead. James Harden, he doesn't really need to go to the hole. He could shoot he could shoot. So, all them step backs will benefit him. I think that'll be a better decision to have a James Harden with a Joel Embiid. Hopefully Joel Embiid is rejuvenated, but I doubt it. But that'll be the best thing. I think Ben Simmons needs to be in a different situation where he has his own team. That's saying that Westbrook is gone. Westbrook to be honest, Westbrook is he's a good NBA player, but to be honest, like, if he could shoot and make it, first of all, he could shoot. If he could hit shots consistently, he'll be a better player. Mm-hmm. And his shot selections are horrible, really bad. But
he's stubborn.
And he's stubborn.
I don't know if any coach has said, "Hey, can you shoot better?" But you know what? I feel like he'll forever be scarred after what happened in OKC. That's how I feel, man.
What do you mean he'll be scarred? What happened? What are you talking about?
I think if there was any time he could have won a championship, it was probably gonna be in 2012, man. But the Heat beat him. I think that would have been
He
the
was,
only time they would have
he was, he was. First of all, they were not gonna win that title.
won.
That title was dead. They weren't gonna win that. That was Heat all over. But Westbrook, the moment that he actually decides to listen is the time that he'll actually win a title.
Because he's not
I
doing
think
it.
that
I don't
he's
even think he
not.
listens to Durant. It's the only
I don't know.
Durant left.
I don't even think he listens to himself. That's how much of that's how much of a guy he is, man. That's how much he just don't listen. I don't even think he listens to himself for real, man. Like, you gotta understand, man, the way you've been playing has not made you win a title. Yeah, you making $40 fucking million, 40 plus $1 million every year. All right, fucking great. That's great. But guess what? All we gonna know you is an electric, high flying point guard that never won a title because of your stubbornness and your I want the ball in my hands. Last time I checked, dog, like, you good and all, but every single time the ball comes in your hand in the last minute, it's either a turnover or bad shot or the situation is just not right coming out of when the ball's in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So, like with Westbrook, I'm happy that the Heat never made that decision to bring in Westbrook, because I remember when Westbrook was on that trade block and stuff like that, and Oklahoma was trying to get rid of him. I'm glad the Heat didn't do it, but I think what the Heat need to do, I hope they do it, man, is either Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, man. Bring one of those guys into the Heat, man. You won't regret it, man. You will not regret it.
Because we need some offense. We need somebody who has offense that's just out of this world. Because Jimmy Butler, like, attack the paint, get you down low, and
Jimmy Butler's good, man, but he's like a second or third option, man. Like, on a good team, like, that's no knock to him. He's good, but he's not. Let's be real. He ain't no Devin Booker putting up points. He damn sure ain't Bradley Beal putting up points. I'm just saying, man. Like, you need somebody that's gonna give you buckets and give it to you in a variety of ways. And I feel like the Heat defense and how they play defense and Eric Spoelstra's coaching and him dialing plays and giving different plays for Devin or Bradley Beal to create and make shots, like, that'll be good. The thing about Bradley Beal, I think he averages like 5 or 6 assists, and Devin Booker averages like 4. So that's why I'm pushing more for Bradley Beal, because at least Bradley Beal is more willing to give up the ball. You know what I'm saying? He plays off the ball. He can play on it too, but he plays off the ball, and I think that's an improved the not Tyler Hero, but the other guy. I forgot his name. Duncan Robinson. That's a improved Duncan Robinson, because Duncan Robinson, he can shoot the shit out of the fucking ball. No cap. He'll move.
His defense.
But his defense, oh my God, like, he was getting killed in the final. It was pick and roll with Duncan Robinson. Oh my God.
That late contest every time.
Yo, Caldwell Pope in reality could have banded on this nigga if he really wanted to, but never did. I just don't understand. But every single time you're looking at the finals, it's just, hey, eating this man. His defense, man. You can't be 6'7", 210, and you can't play no defense.
Man, can you imagine if that boy had defense? Like, I'm talking, go ahead, like, do the LeBron shit. Get in the paint and not block it.
If he was definitely like a 3-and-D kind of guy, but majority of 3-and-D guys, they don't move on the ball like the way he did. Like, if you look at reality, like the only I wouldn't even say that about Ray Allen. Ray Allen's defense was, it was okay. It wasn't Ray Allen. Like, nah, we know you good for.
It was enough for you not to worry about Ray Allen. Like, oh, he ain't gonna stick this to Ray Allen, gonna get eaten. He doesn't get eaten like Kelly Olynyk does.
Nah, man. Between the person on the Heat that get eaten up every single time is Duncan Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
That's guaranteed.
With that young boy face, just getting killed.
But Kelly Olynyk is right there too. He's right there. He get eaten up too. I ain't gonna lie. That boy be big man just. Mick Kelly. Mick Kelly. Here's a 30 burger. Here's a 35. Eric Spoelstra got to put his hands up in the air every single time. Come on, Kelly, defense.
We've been over this already.
But I'm not gonna lie. When Kelly Olynyk, he in the playoffs this year, he played real good ball. Mm-hmm. That Pacers playoff, he played great. Milwaukee, he played great. Celtics, he played great. I just don't know why Eric kind of got him out.
Yeah.
In the finals, I don't know why.
Because because he gave us that offense, nobody wanted to give us that spark, and he did.
If none of you, I know you're not listening to our podcast, but I need you to listen to me right now. I don't give a damn what anybody say. You played like shit in the playoffs. I don't care if you're first year. Tyler Hero was a first year too. He played decent. He didn't play great, but he didn't play like shit like you do.
In the finals, he just didn't show up.
You didn't even average what you average in the season. You dropped like 4 or 5 points. Yeah, I know you had the coronavirus. Oh yeah, all right, great. Yeah. Great. Guess what? Ball is ball. I don't want no excuse from
Michael Jordan had a flu. Nigga still dropped.
You stop. You comparing him to Michael Jordan. Stop it. You need to stop right there. That's what you need to stop. I understand. You had the coronavirus. You understand. They told you sit down, chill. You can't go nowhere. All right, that's cool. But by you not performing the way you was performing, showcased to me a lot of things. At the end of the day, man, you got to understand, you have Rondo on you. Don't get me wrong. Rondo's a good defender, but he's older. He's not the young Rondo that actually played defense in Boston. And we know that goddamn Rondo because we used to watch this nigga against the Heat. That motherfucker Rondo played defense.
He is getting older. He's not
this Rondo, he don't play as much defense. He outthinks you. That's all he does. He steps earlier wherever you're trying to go. That's all it is.
And making more threes than he did back then.
Yeah, but you're faster. Use your youth against him.
He couldn't make a layup. He couldn't make anything. I just don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't understand it, man. You're supposed to at least average 16 coming off the goddamn bench. Dragic was out. It was easy. You had minutes. It was easy for you. Could have got that 18-20. Helped us out. What you mean, Danny Green? Danny Green on old legs gonna keep up with you? Rondo old ass gonna keep up with you? You serious?
And the Heat re-signed Udonis Haslem. I feel like Udonis needs to retire, man.
Hey, shout out to UD. Keep getting them checks. Sit your ass down and just mentor these people. Talk and scream at them. Keep getting them checks.
He ain't doing enough.
Keep getting them checks, UD. Keep getting them checks. Big checks. 2.5 mil for a year. Just sit down and yell and mentor at people. Get that check. And shout out to Caron Butler. He's on the staff. What's good, Caron?
I know.
Get it again.
It's been a long time. But I'm with you with Kendrick Nunn. Step up. Don't choke. And Joe, what about the guys that you said in Houston that are complaining about money? And tell me, how does that not bother you, man? Like, man.
Nah. Listen, man.
Why are you whining about money all the time?
Listen, Austin Rivers is complaining. PJ Tucker is complaining.
What has he done?
Westbrook wants the ball in his hands more. He doesn't like the fact that, it's Harden predominantly gets the ball, even though it's his team. What did you expect?
Yo, they were boys. We go back.
Eric Gordon was upset with his playing time, which is rightfully so, because what the fuck was Westbrook doing? I don't fucking know, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, man, you know, at the end of the day, I think PJ Tucker is worth getting getting a couple extra dollars, you know, because he had to play the 5. He's not a 5. They didn't have a big man. They went small ball this year and traded Capella, you know, for Robert Covington. And listen. He does not get a thumbs down. You know why? Because I didn't know, but he came from an HBCU and he made it to the league. So he don't get a thumbs down.
All right.
He don't get. I didn't know that. No, I really didn't. And then he went back and donated $1 million to his alma mater to get a new facility, new clothes, new gym, and just change the whole landscape of the university.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Robert Covington. And after all that is being said, could have played better. Could have played better. Could have played better. The defense that you played on, I don't know who you played it on. Maybe was it LeBron? Maybe was it Anthony Davis? Could have played better. I'm just saying, he could have played better. Did play better. They traded Capella so you can do some damage. You did not.
Was doing a little bit way more damage in my opinion. I felt like that was a big. That was the only big man that they had.
Yes.
You don't let a big man go.
I think that's what on.
The Heat don't have a big man. We haven't had a big man since Alonzo Mourning.
Don't disrespect Bam like that.
Who?
I mean, Bam's not a big man.
No, he's
not. He's not a big. He's not a big man like Alonzo Mourning or Shaq.
Does he have Tim Duncan potential? Maybe.
I mean, he's not. I mean, he's probably fundamentally sound, but not on the case of Tim Duncan.
I wish people could see your face.
Tim Duncan was a little different, man. Like,
Joe was like, "Whoa!"
You comparing him to Tim Duncan, that's kind of hard. I could tell you one thing that Bam does better than Tim Duncan, and that's get out on a fast break.
Mm-hmm. Tim Duncan wasn't fast,
and he'll get more people involved. I can tell you that much.
No, you're right.
But that's as much as I give. After that, this Tim Duncan all the way.
Let's hope he gets it together, man. But yo, like me personally, I'm just tired of guys in the NBA complaining about money, complaining about it's December. What like Danny Green? Why the hell are we starting the season all over again? We just played. The NBA doesn't give a fuck about that, Danny. They're trying to be back on schedule.
One second. You're talking about PJ Tucker's contract, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to look up PJ's contract for you, right? Okay. So I'm gonna pull up his contract, and he's probably making the smallest amount out of everybody right now. Right?
Right.
And PJ signed for Houston for 4 years, pretty much. I'll round it off and say for $32 million.
Damn.
4 years, 32 million.
$8 million a year. That's it.
And you see all these other players. Who's a trash ass motherfucker right now making more than PJ Tucker? He's only making $8 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
And what he does for that team
does a lot.
He should be getting paid more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would say this though, even though PJ Tucker, I do agree with you, but guess what? You're 35 years of age. You're an undersized power forward. the money that they're gonna give to you later is gonna be worthless. When you were doing this deal in the beginning, you should have got more.
His agent fucked up. Agent
there
fucked
you go. Agent fucked up. There you go. If I was an agent, you wouldn't have fucked up. I would have seen that shit a long time ago. Holla at me.
Late. It's too late.
GSA. Holla at GSA management when we get you right and your money tight. You heard me?
This nigga funny as hell, man. For real. That's the truth. That's the truth. His agent fucked up. He ain't gonna call it out. You can't ask him for a lot of money. He's gonna say that you funny.
Your agent fucked up, dog.
35.
Fucked up.
Boy, you ain't about to lose
4
that.
years, 32 mil.
Nah, you ain't about to get any more. I ain't gonna lie. That's a good contract for a 35-year-old man. He's not even getting veterans minimum. This guy's getting 8 million. Why don't you turn that 8 million? Why don't you turn that 8 million into 80 million outside of the league? Why don't you use that money instead of saying, "Hey, give me more money"? Why don't you just use some investments? Do something, you dumbass nigga. Like, quit expecting the NBA to just take care of you so heavily. They already doing it by putting you in the bracket of the 2%ers. Ain't nobody making that kind of money. You over here whining. I think some of these NBA players need to work at Burger King or something. They need like a little reality check. Some of these players, they whine so much about their money.
Need to work at Burger King. What you talking about?
Come work a dead end job. Come work at a warehouse. Come be a forklift guy. Come pick bullshit for Amazon. Come be a delivery driver since you have so much to say. You're whining about you're already making millions of dollars and you're like, man, I want more. Come work down. Let's cut your pay. Let's humble your ass for a quick second. Will you take that money you have now? Hell yeah, man. I don't want to do this no more. Exactly. Dude, give me a favor. When you go back up there, shut the fuck up and just take your money. All right? Thank you. Because if I ever got to their position, which I will one day, I will never complain about anything. You want to know why?
No.
Because I remember where I was before. That's all you want. Just being up there with the 6-figure income, it changes the game, the whole game. Can always say I could afford plane tickets. Can always afford first class. Could rent out a nice car. Could go to the nice fancy restaurants. Could afford some nice clothes. Shit, and that's what it's all about, man. These guys, they. If my parents did anything, I could give them the money in the drop of a dime. PJ Tucker's making $8 million a year, and he still is bitching and complaining. The players in the NBA can do what they want. They have so much luxuries that the NFL, they don't necessarily have. The owners are probably some of them might have been KKK members or something, because those owners in the NFL, dog, they're
shit. This might be a crazy trade, but this is a suggestion. I was just reading about it just now, but Houston is looking to possibly trade Eric Gordon and Daniel House for Al Horford, because obviously they need a big man, and the Sixers need more shooting. So Daniel House and Eric Gordon are Daniel House is younger, but Eric Gordon is older. So, I mean, they get more space on the floor. Eric Gordon is previous 6th man of the year. So, I mean, hey, it sounds good. It'll be good for the Sixers, because they get to dump Al Horford's heavy ass contract that y'all gave to him. But I mean, I could see both sides working in their favor, because Houston already got shooters there, but it's a whole different topic for another time. So we'll see.
And then just to wrap this up, I almost forgot about this. Joe, man, how did you feel when they told you who the president of the United States was? Just to wrap things up.
I mean, the person that called me was my father and said, "Hey, your vote made a difference. When you voted, this is why he won." And I mean, let's just keep it real. Congratulations to Mr. Joe Biden and Vice President and Madam Lady Vice President. I think that they will do wonders in the office. I think they'll probably be better than what's currently in the office. But I do want to also thank Trump for his presidency. I think that he provided several things for me, which was laughter, because there was times it was hilarious to see him in office. But Trump did what he could, but I think that Biden and the vice president have more to offer and have a better insight, as opposed to a businessman that is only, to me, that is mainly focused on financial gain, which should have helped the economy. When I first thought of Donald Trump being the president, was to get us out of a financial crisis. And I don't know if he did that, but I just want to congratulate, Biden, and hopefully he does wonders in office, and make sure that we move in a better direction than we did the last 4 years. So
you're right. First of all, yeah, I gotta think Trump. He looked out. He gave everybody $1,200. He's like, here, even though that wasn't shit, but hey, I guess it was better than nothing. Thanks,
really?
Donald.
Bye, Donald.
Why don't you sell those Trump towers that you got in down by all the beaches in Florida? Nah, you wasn't about to sacrifice that, but it's all good though.
Yeah, exactly.
Trump, I gotta thank him, and I was happy that Biden won, man. I voted for him. If I'm wrong, then fuck, it's gonna suck. I gotta live with my bad decision for 4 years. But you know what? Just being active and voting, I feel good. I'm like, okay, I gotta do this, but not only on the presidential level. I need to do it on a local level. And it's crazy. You think you're only voting for the president, but also in those ballots are the local governments. Well, House Senates, House Representatives. So, John, I think the next time we go vote together, maybe we should talk about candidates, and you can tell me, hey, this person's going to be on the sheet. Here's why you shouldn't vote for this person, or here's why this person got to go. Because I had to just Google up some names, like, okay, who's this guy? And I just went off of looks. I was like, I don't like what this person looks like. They're not going to have nothing to go off of. It's just so crazy, man.
And that is really messed up to hear. From somebody like you, dog. You shouldn't be doing stuff like that. The thing about it was when I was watching, obviously you vote for the presidency. For the young people out there that has not voted, when you go ahead and vote, it's a whole process. You're in a long line, and then when you get up there, they're gonna ask for an ID, obviously, and to see if you're already registered. You want to register already in whatever area that you're living in at the time, to make sure you're registered for that specific area, whatever the case may be. And when you're doing that whole registration, then they're gonna give you a form, after, and then you go into another room, and you go ahead and cast your ballot. You go ahead and you read over, whatever questions that they have at the time, and you go based off that. And the thing about it is, like, when me and my brother went to go vote, there was a lot of issues that were going on in the North Miami area. I mean, they also had other, big picture things about increasing the minimum wage pay from that to about 15, and now be effective in 2026, something like that.
I think it was 2021, wasn't it? It was 2021.
No, it's 2020. It's gonna take an effect in 2021, but by the time it reaches 15 an hour, it's gonna be like 2026, something like that. I mean, hey, minimum wage you jump up in Florida, anyways. But that's for Florida. Everybody's minimum wage is different, but that's for Florida. They're trying to do that. And they were talking about the local governments and governors and things of that nature. So I was already informed about it, because I knew that I was going to vote back at home, But since Robin's from Kansas and he pretty much knows all the local people in Kansas, I hope he does. I feel like he doesn't, but hey, I don't know. No, okay, see. Yeah.
I know one guy. He's running, and he was one of Steph's classmates. Some guy named Jeff Shaw.
Nah, for real?
Yeah, he's running, but
That's
I need
dope.
to get into that more.
That's dope. Did Steph move her?
No, man, we're working on trying to get her into the politics side. She's just not.
Oh, she didn't vote at all.
Nah, she not into it. For whatever reason. But you know what? Poppy got me hooked. I'm gonna be honest.
I need to have a talk with Steph.
Yeah, man.
She need to get it. She need to get that together.
She need to get it together for real. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm into it now. I feel like, man, like they need to do it a different way. Fuck all these commercials of them talking shit about this person. This person did this. This person took all the money. This person raised taxes, but they took more money and put it in their pocket. Can you just tell me something? Give me an outline of what this person's done when they were running for president, and then during their term. And I'm talking about people in Senate, people in Congress. Let me know, man. Like, make it easier for me, so that I'm like, nah, I don't like any of the shit that you did. You're out.
I mean, this is the whole point of when you're voting. When you vote, you're voting for the person that's going to benefit or pretty much benefit you in the long haul for the next coming years. You want to have an advantageous position to where your life isn't, dramatically changed or dramatically hurt based off of whoever is in office. So I think that what needs to go down, and I think a lot of things that needs to change is not only the whole main thing of presidency and the campaign for the next 4 years, how they always do it, but to promote the local governments, to promote those governments, those local legislations and legislators, and promote those people way more than how they do with the presidency. Because yeah, everybody knew about Biden and Trump, and it was everywhere. But nobody knew about their local government. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on with their local government. Nobody can really say anything about the local government. I mean, you know a couple, but you don't know a lot.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And you do a better job of it, and they do little small commercials. They're just dissing it all the day. It's like a diss track, kid, all day long. You're like, what makes you so different? How do I even trust you? How do I not know you might be even worse than this person? Like, man, just tell me, what are you going to do? Show me, how's your plan even in motion? Say something like that instead of just dissing. That's what they do all the time. And they pay millions of dollars to have commercials like that. It's unbelievable. $1 million worth of bullshit.
Hey, nothing you can do about that.
But man, that just felt good voting, and it feels good just being informed and learning more and more about it. At some point in time later in my life, I expect to know all of them.
Yeah, one more thing. The thing about it is when you're casting your ballot and all that stuff, right? For the young voters out here, it's not just about Trump. They're gonna ask you multiple questions about everything else. The thing that I want the United States government to do is actually have out to where the questions that they have is out there already. You know what I'm saying? Like the question that they're gonna ask on the ballot. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys just mainly talk about the presidency and voting for them and picking them for the president of the United States, but you also need to talk about different laws that need to be changed, legislations that need to be changed, the people that are in chairs that need to be changed, local governments that may need to be changed, different laws and different things that may need to be changed or kept the same. You know what I'm saying? It's just different things like that you guys need to put out there and have like a little answer to your cheat sheet out there. They don't have that. You know what I'm saying? They don't have an example of what the ballot may look like or questions or answers they may give out. And I mean, I understand for the people that may scam and mail all those in and things of that nature and things of that. I mean, yeah, cool. We understand, but you got to have a certain way to have it to where, excuse me, tired. You may have it to where you want to put like a specific type of stamp or something on that ballot to where, they don't scam it or send in more letters and stuff like that. I don't know, but you guys have to think about it.
No, you're right. There's a lot of things that just need to get fixed, man. And this
Yeah,
world is a work in progress. And to be honest, we might be gone, and then maybe 10 generations later, they might get it right. Might. They even get it.
That's a big if too.
It might, man. But this was definitely a good. It was definitely a good episode. A lot of shit to digest.
Oh shit.
Yeah, a lot of shit to digest, man. It's been great. It's always fun doing this, Joe. Happy we got it in. Hopefully next weekend, maybe Andy will be on. He should be.
He'll be on, man.
We'll
He'll
see
be
what
on.
the next topic is gonna be about. But yeah, man, that was definitely good. So yo, everybody, enjoy yourselves. Have a great week. Go after it. Make sure your circle is tight and your circle is real. Period, man. And enjoy the rest of the NFL season and NBA season since it's about to be back. Y'all be easy. Another episode of Real Talk Reviews in the books. Thanks for rocking with us.
Yes, sir. You are far too kind.